Greetings, everyone. Let me just try to adjust this camera here. Okay. All right. I hope you read the title. Now, I'm going into who I am, but I'm not going to go in that today. I started that 2 days ago. I'll probably go back to that tomorrow. Who am I? A person. What am I? A soul living in a body. What's that mean? Doesn't mean anything to anybody else because it's who I am to me, and that's what everybody is to themselves. Title for today: Heaven. Well, I'm going to start with heaven. Uh, it's a kind of a spiritual name, religious name, make believe name, whatever you want to think about it, however you do think about it. What is it really? Does it mean a real place? Is it a real place? Do we get to go there? Do we stay there? What do we do when we get there? All those questions. I know people ask that and never get an answer. When I was 14, I went to my minister, just got baptized, and we were allowed to ask the minister 3 questions. First question, what is God? And the answer you'll get, nobody knows. What's heaven look like? You'll get an answer, nobody knows. What do you do in heaven? Nobody knows. Well, how many people wrote about it? I'm going to go into something a little bit later about death experiences and things like that. I had my share, and I'll explain why and what things happened during it. All right, this is a late time to do my show, but I just was listening to, I don't know what station, but the song Eric Clapton did about his son when his son died. It became a popular song for a long time. Basically, he's talking about trying to see his son in heaven. When most people are when their children die. Mother dies, father dies, somebody close dies. Will I see him again? Will I hold his hand? Will he know who I am? All right, the questions that a human consciousness thinks about. All right, what is the human consciousness? Well, don't ask scientists because they're not. Don't ask religionists. Don't ask anybody because everybody has a viewpoint on it. I have a viewpoint on it, but I have the truth about it. Well, why is mine the truth and everybody else is an idea? Well, in my life, I'm 69 now. I had 5 death experiences. I spent 40 years traveling out of my body. I met with deities, angels, all those kind of things. I had the worst scenarios happen in my life. I challenged God a few times. I did a lot of things in my life. I was a high priest for a few years. I worked my way through the ranks. I dealt with a lot of the psychic abilities, which you cannot use now, even though people try. And there's a reason why. All right. But I like to make people think a little about what you think, not what I think. You can attack me and say you don't believe it, don't care. On a piece of paper, get a pencil, write what you think heaven is. What do you look like when you're there? What do you think you're going to do? And I'm going to say, sorry for all the people that write down, I'm going to meet my family and we're going to have a great conversation and party. No, it's not going to happen, people. You may want to believe that. There's no signs of proof of that anywhere, except in the person's dream or imagination. But in reality, what do you think happens to you when you die? And you go to heaven. Where is it? Why are there different levels? Why are there different places? Why all this? Because souls have different vibrations. Some good, some bad, some indifferent. Now, heaven is given to the word where people go when they die. The real name, the proper name for heaven is called the astral plane. It's the plane where most souls go when they die. Not all souls even make it to there. And I'll get into that in a second. But when you die and you cross over, and you go into the astral plane, what do you think happens there? What are you ready to do? What do you think you can do? What abilities think you're going to have? What do you get when you get there? All right, let's start there. When you die, whatever you are, whatever awareness you have, is what you have. It doesn't change. When you die and you cross over, you're not becoming an angel. You're not becoming a superpowered being. You're not becoming God. Oh, well, no, you don't, and it's not even an idea that's real. I'm going to bypass all the programming mankind has, which is 90% of everything it believes, accepts, and deals with. Some people more, some people a little bit less. All right? Now, when you're little, what religion were you forced to stay in? Some children are lucky. Their parents let them try all the religions. Some people don't get to try any religions when they're little. So, depending on the beginning of your programming, is how fast or how much you're going to become aware. I'm only going to say for the whole. There's always an exception to every single rule, meaning that one that does something different or changes something or whatever. All right, how many people we have actually changed the world completely? All right, not many. How many people saved the world? Not many. So when you talk about those kind of people, there's not many people there. When you talk about people that think they are or say they are spiritual, all right, the worst word on this planet is spiritual, all right, because nobody knows what it means. Man tries to squeeze this little thought into what it means, what it is, like they know. If you read a definition of a word, well, that's a pear. I picked it off the tree. It was a pear tree. I mean, did he name the tree and the pear? Why? All right, why didn't he name the pear an apple? So it's a man's programmed ideas of his conditioning, how he creates. And most people create what they're programmed to believe. I mean, your family, your parents, your friends, all influence that, but it's your parents that do the most because they're going to try to determine if they can make you a Catholic, a Protestant, Jehovah's Witness, Hare Krishna, or a nobody, not to make you believe in God, like to make you believe God doesn't exist. I mean, things like that, really. There's a lot of programming that goes on. But usually, it's what they are. If they're Christian, Protestant, Catholic, they're going to try to get their child to be that. Well, if I'm going to Sunday school at my church, I'm not going to send them to another church to go to Sunday school. So it's like, you come with me, you learn what I'm going to what allows you to learn. Well, learning is nothing like that. It shouldn't be like that. All right. Truth is out there. Truth is in every aspect of everything. But it gets pulled out and twisted and molded into something else that it is not. All right. I had a weird day today. Last night I had one of the worst dreams. You know, when you get involved with a lot of different things, which I am, you see beyond the veil. The veil meaning what you're programmed and allowed to see until you break that veil. Now, in the UFO world, the veil's really heavy. Nobody can see the truth. They'll claim they want to and are seeing it, but listen to the stories. There's no proof. I'm not saying any of it's fake because it's all real. Just about everything you hear is real. I just saw somebody on the internet saying they're doing Enochian magic. Good for him. Oh, and when he uses it, it changes. Ego. Ego has to do with power. Always. When somebody can say they're the best at what? A magician? I was a sage magician. I went into not black magic. I went into magic. Not black magic, but white magic. I was a high priest. All right. I studied 14 religions, baptized Protestant, studied all the ones that I could in that time frame. Look at this, about 2,000 religions, and only about 2 or 3 of them can teach you anything important about the spiritual worlds. Sure, everybody can talk about Earth. You live here. Just pull up your computer, go wherever you want. You could see it and learn about it and everything else. Pull up about God, the truth about the inner worlds and all those things. You can't. You could read a book about it, somebody's experience there. I'm not talking about one experience, people. Most people have one experience, one death experience, and they write books. One abduction, and they're writing books, and they think they know everything. All right, it's depending what happens in that time frame, and usually you learn very little. You get abducted, and I'm not going to go into all those details. This isn't a UFO show, but how people were programmed to believe certain things, accept certain things, and not able to remember certain things. All right, so when we talk about heaven, get a paper and pencil out. Write what you think is in heaven. Write what you think heaven is. What do you think you're going to look like in heaven? I'll get into that a little bit later, but I want you to write that down. Take your time. I don't care. You don't have to listen to me. That's probably much more important. Understanding who you are, what you believe, not what I believe. I'm getting a lot of trolls lately. I got locked out of LinkedIn. I lost my site. I had 3,500 people, and I lost them all. All right. There's a chance I can fight to get back in, but I did it 3 times already. And they ask for your driver's license even. And they want to prove that you're somebody. Really? You did that 3 times already, and you're still going to make me prove that who I am? You should understand I'm not a liar like a lot of the people on the site. You don't block them. Even AOL, which is the main site I deal with, blocks my emails until they evaluate them to see if they want to put them up. But I did notice you have to change a lot of words. And I was going to write a list of all the words that I'm going to change words into other words, like cake, cupcake for hell. I mean, and just give them different definitions of the words. But, the government might, whoever, might block me just for that. All right. Because I wouldn't have to tell the people to do that. So I'm not going to go there. I'm dealing with the truth, putting it out until I get cut off. All right. Now, I'm not going to talk about certain things because that you can't say, and I know that. All right. When it comes to medicine, you're in deep trouble if you talk about it. And I could say a lot of stuff, but I can't on this channel or any other channel. Unless Mr. Musk actually changes Twitter for free speech. We'll see. I'll wait till I see it happen. Imagine being able to say what you want. When we were children, and I'm a lot older than most of you that are listening, we were told sticks and stones may break. Names will never hurt me. All right. So I call you you know what? It was okay. You didn't have to accept it. You didn't have to go home, cry, or you didn't have to do anything. Just walk away. But it came to the point where you can't say something, or I'll take you to court and sue you. Well, when you don't have nothing, go ahead, sue me. You'll get nothing. But we're not trying to go into that point of it. I'm trying to go to the point where the truth is all I'm going to put out. Whether you believe it or not, that's your choice. You don't like it, just go to another channel. You don't have to tell me what you believe in unless you want to talk about it in a way like you don't know and want an answer. Don't talk to me what you believe in and say that's the answer. It's the answer for you in that moment, period. All right? And if you're a woman, it's so different. If you're a man, it's the opposite. It's so not different. Everything's right on for men, but not for women. And it's been like that always. So when you go to a priest, a minister, a rabbi, or any of those kind of people, and you think they're going to give you something important, I went through it. I mean, in this lifetime, I'm not talking about other lifetimes. I mean, I'm a reverend presently. But when I was younger, I mean, I asked those questions and went to those people believing that they had truth. Well, a minister must have truth. Really? A priest must have truth. Really? Why? Because they're a man and they were told that they are? All right. Now, go to your priest, minister, rabbi, whatever, your shaman master. Ask him what's heaven. Ask him what you're going to do in heaven. Ask him what God does with heaven and things like that. See what kind of answers you get. All right? It's going to be limited. Because God doesn't deal with heaven as we call it, the astral plane. It's only the next stage of hell. And the reason why, you could still hurt people there, but you can't kill them. You can kill people here. You don't just have to hurt them. So it's a different space, different energy, different vibration. And the only way you move forward is changing your vibration, not by wishful thinking, by awareness. Awareness changes your vibration automatically. Now, how do I know that? I could go into all my stories, but I don't want to tell you stories that are mine. They're not going to help you. You need your own stories, but you need your own truth, and you need to evaluate the truth that you get. I don't know. I'm going to see what happens. This is going to go out, but is that too dark? Maybe not. Uh, so, when you find who you are, what are you? What do you want to be? All right. The word spiritual. Everybody wants to be spiritual, and they have no clue what it means. Where does it come from? What's it really mean? The definitions are lame. I mean, you can't get a good definition of God. You can't get a good definition of anything, really, in worlds that don't exist here. I'm not saying they don't exist, they just don't exist here, in this moment in space and time where we are. All right? So, heaven, I'm going to give you a couple little details about it. For the average person that leaves planet Earth to go to heaven, I don't know which is better, people. I don't know if you like it that way or that way. Down a little bit that way. How's that? Maybe that's a little better than both. All right. What do you want in heaven? What do you think's going to go there? All your family? Now let's do it the programmed ideal way. I'm sick. I'm dying. How much family do I have left? Son might be there. Sister, brother, mother, father, whatever. Somebody comes to see you. I'll be with you. I'll be with you till you leave. And you can't breathe now, and you're starting to die, and you're looking around and saying, I'm dying. I'm going to lose everything. What is your next thought? Now, that determines where you are spiritually. Do you know where you're going? Do you know how it's going to happen? Or do you not? Death is the most critical thing because every second of life is a second closer to death. Buddha said that. You should be thinking about it all the time. Greetings, Richie. It should be thinking about it all the time, people, because you are getting closer to it every split second. Now, you can die tomorrow, next year, 10 years from now, but you are 99.999% are not going to go past 125 years old. The firmament around a planet makes it that way in our time frame. The Bible days are different time, different dates and energy and everything else, so it's a lot different then. I mean, I can't go into what was happening when we're so toxic, and they weren't, but I'm sure you know that. All right. But for you, when you're dying on your dying bed, where do you think you're going? And what's the next step that happens? You stop breathing. You can't breathe. You're choking. You feel your body going numb. Now, you see the light. What's that mean to you? Oh, go to the light. Go to the light. Okay, you're standing in front of the light. I'm looking at the light right now. Okay, now what? Go into it. They don't know. They don't know what to tell you. I had a medicine man that I studied with. I was on a vision quest with him. And he says, don't ever go through the light. Now, I had a Tibetan teacher that said you had to go through the light. And I'm going to give you the answer. You go through it. You don't ride it. You can stay in it. And that would be the bliss state Buddha talking about. But you can go through it. Come out the other side and see what's out there a lot more. In the bliss state, you don't know who you are. Your ego's gone. You got no desires. So you don't realize anything. I believe it's better to burn out than to fade away. All right, burning out means you're going to take everything you know to the end and fight for it, fight with it, and be that. Because at the end, you need to take the next step, but you have to be an aware person to do that. No matter how sick you are or anything else, it doesn't change your awareness. If you're aware of spirit, aware of a lot of these things, all right? So now, okay, which way are you going from there? What are you going to do? Look around. How do you get around? Guess what? You don't even have to walk if you don't want. You can float. You can do a lot of things. You're not in a solid body. Now, I'm going to give you one good thing and one bad thing. Or maybe a little more of each. Who knows? But the one good thing, and this is to remember, people, because when you step into the astral plane, there's a body that you use there. But guess what? I mean, you can kind of call it like a drone. You pick the age you want it to be 25, 35, 45, 100 if you want, child if you want, but you pick an age. And when you step into that body in that age, you don't age there. There's 1,000 years in the astral plane is like a day here, maybe a couple of days here. You can do tons of things in an hour in that time frame. That might seem like 15 minutes, half hour here, but you can do so much more there in that time frame. So it's a different reality already. Now, what do you see? Can I touch myself? Do I want to eat? You don't have to eat if you don't want to. You do what you want. Now, the longer you dilly-dally, play like, oh, wow, I can do it whatever I want. And I'll bring it up. I always bring it up. Groundhog Day, watch the movie. Bill Murray goes over and over and over, dies every day. Has to start all over. Well, kind of like that. But hopefully you take a step forward every time. By the end time of where you need to be, you can stop taking a step forward because you're there. But you step into the next realm and then you start all over. All right. Now, the good thing, another good thing I'm going to tell you, you can learn more here on planet Earth than you can in the astral plane or even the plane beyond that. Why? Because you're already going through this time thing. Well, here you're in this stuff 128, 25 days, 25 years. All right, but there you got a time frame of a lot different. So you can do it a lot longer and be there a lot longer. When you come back here, it's different. All right. I'm talking. I'm kind of put all these things together on you. I shouldn't have, but reincarnation. All right. You're gonna come, but when you go back there, and you get to stay there. Maybe not every soul gets to stay there. Not all of them do. Not most of them. You realize the truth. The truth between the physical and the astral world. The difference. And then you start understanding the word spiritual a little bit better. All right, what it's really starting to mean. What does God mean? What does it really mean? Not the Bible stories, not the stories that everybody else talks about, the truth. Now, people of truth have a hard time getting it out. I can't get mine out, but it's not about that. You're not here, people. You are not here to change the world. You are not here to change everybody. If that was true, one person would change the world and the world would be changed, but it's not going to happen. Every person has their own karma, which they got to deal with. What's that karma? Bad. Or you wouldn't be here in the first place. Right? You reincarnated so many times, and you're still here. Why? Why aren't you on the astral plane now with your ex-wife in another lifetime? All right. So what we need to do is open our mind, all right, and say, hey, let the truth in. Soul talks to mind. Mind blocks it usually because it's programmed and it uses its programs. It doesn't use free thinking. Soul has an awareness of its own, meaning it can do anything it wants at any level. It doesn't have to make sure that the mind knows it, because usually the mind doesn't. And what I'm saying is when you close your eyes and go to sleep, mind's sleeping. And soul is able to do a lot more for a short period of time. And that short period of time is right before you fall asleep. Soul can get out of the body the easiest during that time frame. So if you're doing meditation, doing any of those things, make sure you keep a stopwatch and a timer so you can time how long you've been in a space, and you set a timer so you don't stay there. Because if you don't wake up, you might not remember anything. So if you wake up every 10 minutes or every half hour, however you work it, whatever you feel is right, uh, you remember it. But don't jump out of bed. Don't think about something else. So the good things. What are the bad things about going to the astral plane? You'll be there for a long period of time if you stay there. Every time you take a step higher and step into a higher world of reality, there's less chances you're going to want to leave it. The astral plane is going to be fun for a long period of time, but you will get bored with it sooner or later. Now, the mental plane is beautiful. You might not want to get any higher level or move beyond that, but uh, you need to. So when you go into that, you're going to have to take the first step is thinking about your dream when you wake up. Was it real or wasn't real? Was it real or wasn't real? Tell yourself, ask yourself, what are you doing? Where are you going? And why? So now, anybody that tries to do this, write out what heaven is to them, look at it. And if I told you everything you wrote on that is a lie to yourself. Oh no, my family's there and they're waiting for me. To do what? What would you do with your family if you met them there? Oh, we'll sit down and talk about what? Well, I had a bumpy road going from the physical world to this world. This giant jumped and grabbed me and ate me, and he spit me out. What stories are you going to tell? What are you going to believe? What are you going to deal with? How much of the truth are you ready to accept yet? How much of it do you know as reality and real within you? Awareness is being aware within inside yourself, not aware what somebody else thinks they're aware of. That's not awareness. Can you go inside yourself, look around, see where the problems in your body are, and then just heal them? You'd rather go to somebody else and tell them to heal you. You know, there's different things. I call it passing time for me. Otherwise, I'd be completely out of my head, bored to death. All right, if it wasn't the things that are going on in my dreams and things going on in reality, I'm not talking about all the bad things. We don't need to focus on that kind of stuff because it's not going to be beneficial for us. Well, heaven, when you pick an age, especially when you think you were in your prime, you tell yourself you can do more, which means you can do more. When you tell yourself you can't do any more, you're not going to try. And I know people always say, well, just keep trying. You're going to get there. Well, it's true. I say spiritual awareness is like put a ladder, 1,000-foot ladder in the middle of the yard and brace it so it sits there standing up. Now, when you get to that ladder, you got two choices. Start climbing up it or climb back down. Unless you get stuck right wherever you are. Excuse me. All right. And whatever that is for you. Now, heaven It's not a place of pain and suffering like hell is. And that's where we are. Well, sorry people, this is not close to heaven in any aspect. We don't look anything close to God. All right? All the things you kind of believe or think you believe or want to believe are lies. So what I said, when you go inside yourself and look for the truth, you can find it. It's there. Are you willing to look for it? So when you're on your dying bed and you're leaving, make sure you tell yourself, I'm going to be aware. Remind yourself that. So you're not caught up in the moment of death. Now, when you watch a body die, a person died before they're dead, sorry. How are they? Are they breathing okay? Are they smiling? Are they in pain? What's the story? Most people, even if they're in pain, are happy to leave their bodies. So what makes it worth the while to leave the body? Being able to take the next step closer to the higher realms of God. And that should be important. Should be more important than the idea God doesn't exist. There's no such thing as God. Heaven's all fake. And so are you. So, do you want to move forward? Do you want to stay where you are? Do you want to move backwards? Moving forward is the only solution that you should have. And you should be ready to do it. And are doing it. Are you? How do you move forward? I don't know how to move forward. Well, it's simple. Look for the truth. Right? Do a meditation. There's right ways and wrong ways to do a meditation even. But you're not going to find what you want. All right? Now, people talk, I mean, you might not understand everything I say. You know, this is the English language. And it's one of my first incarnations speaking the English language. And I'm never going to speak it again. But while I'm here, I have to speak it. All right? I mean, Russian, China, a language, a physical language created in this reality. All right, unless you want to talk to aliens and talk in their language and all those other kind of ridiculous ideas right now. But we'll get into aliens in a second. But I want to finish up with your heaven. What is it? Do you want to go there? But don't go there thinking you're going to meet your family. Most of them have reincarnated already. And the ones that get to stay there are busy. Don't forget, they're probably 25 years old. Would you know them? Like in Eric Clapton's song. Would they know you? Would they want to? Oh, well, hi, how are you? Well, I can't talk. I got a job to do. All right. It's going to be different than what you ever expected. You're not solid. I mean, solid's that. Being able to go through something. Like, imagine you just were going through something. That's not solid. So, when you walk into a world that's beyond this world, multiple levels, it's not going to be easy. You just don't adapt. It's like throwing a baby in a car and saying, okay, drive it home. Really? Does it know any? And what you should do to make it work? So, we accept simple principles, what Jesus was here for, what the Bible says, what the Constitution says. They're all created by man. All right? And that should be the scary part. Man only cares about a few things, and God's not one of them. All the Muslims, Hare Krishna, all these different organizations and beliefs, do they believe in a real God? Actions are great. I mean, you can say what you want, but your actions are much more important, right? Do you understand what religions? I don't know how far I can get with this without getting booted off the show or losing it, but how far people go in different religions. I won't even go into the details. It's disgrace to the human race. I don't care what religion you are, who you say you're following. Murder is never accepted, ever, for any reason. And what did man do all its lifetimes? Kill, and kill some more. All right. So, kill for peace. Really? We're in a trouble time. Are you ready to move into a higher spiritual place? What is God? On your little piece of paper. I don't know how much I'm going to let you do, but you can do this no matter what. What is God? On the other side of that paper, put God is and God isn't on both sides. I do this to everybody. Write what God is on one side and what God isn't on the other. And you can't say everything. You can't say God is everything and just leave it at that. Write everything you think it is. The trees, the flowers, the animals, the air, the wind, all that. Write whatever you think God is. All right? Then when you're all done with that, draw a line under that and say, how does God talk to us? All right? Very few people will be able to answer that. But they'll say, well, he guides me in my dreams. Does he guide you really? If you go out and run somebody over, you think God was driving the car for you? Who drives your car? All right. So we only have a short time to get further down the road than where we are right now. Are you ready to take it? Are you ready to do it? I listen to every speaker out there all the time. Listen to the stuff they're pushing on people. Well, I repeat myself. If you don't hear it over and over, you're never going to accept it. Well, God is real. Okay, God's real. 10 days later. Is God real? 100 days later. Is God real? You're going to ask it over and over, even though you know the answer or were told the answer. But who told you? These people. I don't even have a drink from my throat. Oh no. Hold on. Oh well. I guess I don't. So, on the ESTA plane, it's different. You don't have to eat. You float around and you do work. What we perceive work here is obviously not the same there. I mean, you leave that realm, it gets closer to just using your mind, which you just can't do it here. The vibration of the mind can't control this reality. Cannot. I hope you're following that, because soul does. All right? But it doesn't deal with this reality. Soul's not here to make better buses, better cars, better balloons, whatever you want. It's not about that. So it's not going to deal with that either. If I'm here to teach you about spirit, why would I want to talk about building a baseball bat or a bat machine or something weird or stupid or just something? I wouldn't. When we talk about the future, what aliens say, well, think about that. Do aliens go to heaven? All things go to heaven? Why? Anybody tell you that? Do you believe that? Why? You think a roach is up in heaven waiting for it to be decided whether it was a good roach or a bad roach to come back here? So when they try to say they're going to clone us, it won't be us. There'll be a plastic body with a computer in it, and they'll say it's you. But it won't be. The way they into the mind and things like that now with the HARP system, it's scary. It should be scary. But I wanted to get this show out today because I thought about how people believe certain things. They're not ready to let go of them. If you pay to see a fight, you're not going to take, I don't care, I'm going to walk away from it. No, I pay for this fight, I'm going to see it. Well, see the fight. See what turns you on. Does that relate to your definitions of what God is? Or what heaven is? What do you do in heaven? And why? My computer gets stuck here and there. I'm sorry about that. I can't change it. If anybody has a question, please put it in the chat room. It's not a joke room. Sorry. It's a chat room for questions that you truly need an answer about. Not how many drops are in the ocean or how many drops fall from the sky, but something a little more important to you. All right. The word killing should not be in existence right now. You'd think after 30,000 years we would have cut it out. People, if I can do it tomorrow, I'm going to go back to my other show that I was doing last couple of days ago. Who am I? Why would I have a right to talk over things? I'll try to explain it. Just be safe tonight. Uh, I can't protect you. Nobody else can. You're your own protection. Think about it. And it depends what kind of protection you want. Physical protection? You don't go in bad places. You learn martial arts. You carry a weapon. That's what most people do when they're in a situation where they don't think they can live, survive. All right, riding a horse is always safer than riding a car. If people got killed falling off a horse, a lot of native people were killed when the buffalo ran into the horse and pushed them into the herd, and they got stampeded. So I spent a couple years doing my meditation with mudras and mantras, and look up the difference if you don't know what that means. All right, and you stay in a position for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, chanting a sound. All right, it's that simple. But is it helping anybody really? Oh, what helped is people. You tell them that they're not a demon anymore. Oh, they saved me. I'm saved. What an incredible offer. Uh, if you want to be in that space all your life, well, try not to be, because I'm gonna just try to get into aliens a little bit before I go any further. Do aliens go to heaven? Do they have a soul? What do you think? Excuse me. What do you think? Well, these are things you need to write down for yourself in the future, next week. What do I think God is? And you'll read it. Well, what do we do when we get up there? Look down and you see it. Well, in my book, it was all worded out the best I could at the time. It's getting older. I mean, every year it makes things change greatly. But where do you want to be? Past, present, future. I hope you say the present, because that's where we are. All right, people. I don't think people like to hear too much that could pop your ears inside and say, well, it's just too loud, too much, whatever. You make it yourself. You didn't have to come to this dream of my experience, and being part of it. But you are. You open yourself up to it. A great gift people do when they don't need to or shouldn't do. So, I'm going to say this one last time. Look for the truth wherever you are. Don't stop unless you find it. All right, people. My time's closing in. I hope you got something out of this. The next show will probably be based on who am I. All right, because it's critical. Sorry, somebody just came into the chat, into the room. Sorry, I was going to go longer, but I can't even talk what's going on in Hawaii without probably losing my show. All right, lots of things going on. Oh, I'm trying to bring the truth out, but not where I get to the point where I can't say anything, and then I won't be here tomorrow to say anything anyway. But the age and things like that are critical to know when your child comes in, goes out, and all those kind of things. What happens? Well, when I started the show, I was doing Revolution Radio for years. FreedomSlips.com for 2 years. I got around. The only one show I wanted to get on, I couldn't. Coast to Coast. He was threatened because we sent him a bunch of letters. All right, people. Here's the thing. I need a second wind. I wish I had a drink. My throat is so messed up. Uh, could I play music for you for 2 seconds? I don't know. What kind of music you into? Uh, Let me just see this real fast. I don't know if it's going to entertain you or not. Where do you want to go? You think you could hold on for 1 minute so I can get some water? And then I will go on. I'm going to disappear for less than 1 minute. I never did that before, people, just so you know. All right. I'm gonna go into a couple things real fast. You're only here for 125 years. You're probably at least a quarter way through your life. Some people half, some people 3/4. All right. You don't have time to goof around. You don't have time to play. And man thinks the only thing that's important is learning how to play. Leave my glasses off too. I mean, it's not like I'm reading anything right now. So, what are you going to do with your life? Play the games, watch TV, play sports, watch football, baseball, hockey, go skiing, go sleigh riding, parasailing. What entertains you? Yeah, do it. We need entertainment, and you need a relief from whatever you're doing, always. But here's the thing: are you putting any time into becoming aware of who and what you are? All right. I can't read the chat room without my glasses. Sorry. Uh, what job are you doing? Are you satisfied with it? I know we're having serious problems on this planet every which way, and water is one of them. I don't like water. I didn't drink water most of my life. I mean, I never drank more than 2 glasses of water in a day. I'm in Hawaii, and they say you got to drink at least 5 glasses, 6 glasses. I'm lucky if I got to 2 or 3, but I don't go over that. I'm not a fish. I don't swim in the water. I can go into experience where I did, but I'm saying, no, that's not where I'm at. All right. Find a job that you like. The first thing is the word karma. You don't want to create karma, whatever you do. So try to find a job that's karma free. And how do you determine if a job is karma free? Are you hurting people in any way? Oh, I'm giving them what they want to drink. I'm giving them what they want to do. Meaning what? What kind of drugs? What do you think you're doing? Is it helping humans in any way? You don't have to be a good Samaritan, but you can't do bad things either. You can't hurt other people. You don't have the right to. You may think you do, but you don't. All right. What are you thinking about for your pleasure? I mean, you work, you have to go home, watch TV. Sex is usually one of the biggest things for most people. I'm not saying it's wrong, but can you work it into a schedule where you're doing all the things you need to do in life? Some people just get hung up in sex and don't want to do anything else. You got a lot of money, you don't have to do anything else. You got no money, you still got to go to work. But little things like that determine when and how and what's going to happen when you get to heaven. Karma is the D on your report card, or 0, whatever the hell they marked you. Because if you got karma, usually means reincarnation. All right? I want you to think about that. Now, I want you to think about aliens for a second. You don't have to stay there. Do aliens go to heaven? Do aliens have a soul? Do aliens care about the human race? No, they don't. All right? They don't. Because, if you got an ability to change something and you're watching those events and you don't change it, guess what? It's like being a millionaire, keeping all your money in your own personal bank and taking out maybe $1,000 today, $100,000 tomorrow. Is that like the right thing to do? Does that make you better in any way? Well, I'm going to buy a yacht. I'm going to buy a car. I'm going to buy this. I'm going to buy that. Does it make you better? Rich people think they're better. And when Jesus said this, he said it so many times. It's easier for a camel to go through an eye of a needle than a rich person to get in heaven. I say that a lot because it's important. The same as our politicians and stuff like that. Should they be millionaires? Should they be rich people? The rich can't understand the poor, and the poor can't understand the rich. And there's that fine line between both. Does that mean one does one day, then we do the one the other way? It's acceptance. Who's willing to step in and give in the first? All right, those things are critical. So when you write things down, think about it now. What's good here? What's beneficial? What would you like to change and be in? Because those questions you're going to work out. You'll work them out sooner or later. All right? If you hold on to a question you don't ask, it's always going to be a question you didn't ask. And you're never going to be able to move on. I hope that helped a little, people. Again, my Skype, Hawksblood11. My email, hawksblood1, AOL.com. How to see God at AOL.com. Truth Beyond the Illusion is my book, which was one of them. Then we got my first book is How to See God. And my newest book is The True Teachings of Jesus from God Realization. And they're all books, really. Please, people, I'm not doing this to hurt people. I'm not doing this to make fun of people. The only thing I can do is help you try to wake up. Know how much time you have left. All right? Which isn't a lot. 100 years isn't a lot of time. As you get older, those years shrink faster and faster. I mean, I left the phone company in 2000. And now it's 2022. But for 2 years, I was on Jersey doing caregiving. And then I came to home. Is it better? I'm not going to even go into that because that's what we care about? No. Can I be myself? Can I tell the truth? Well, most people don't want the truth, no matter where you go. So getting in a plane and going somewhere where you think they're going to hear you, it's not going to happen. But I'm pretty sure you had to know that. Somewhere inside you, you know what's going on. But if you don't, start a dream journal. Work at nighttime before you go to bed. Do the simple things. Write all this down, what you think God is, what you think, what spiritual means, and all the questions I asked, and See what you come out with out of just understanding who you are. See if any of those things fit together. They're not going to, but see if they do. All right, people. I'm sorry if you came in late. I didn't know how long ago. My adrenaline's kind of cut. There was a lot of weird things going on today. And it's not getting boosted. I'm starting to get a major headache. So, yeah, that makes it even worse for me. But look, have a good night, good morning, wherever you are, whatever's happening. Don't give up. Don't give in. Stay who you are. Don't ever change. You really can't anyway. So, with that, people, I'm signing out. Peace. I wish I could give you a cure, but I can't. Peace, love, compassion, whatever you need in your life. I hope you get it.